Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sara, aka Sagan, and today I'm going to show you my favorite stationery supplies for bullet journaling and in general illustrations. You see both materials that I use on a daily basis and recommend you, as well as materials I've experimented with in the past on the bullet journal and which might still be right for you. But before we get started, remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell and leave a comment down below. Get yourself a hot drink, some food, get comfortable because it's stationery time. And now let's get started. Let's start with number 1, the bullet journal. I'd like to start by showing you some pages from my old bullet journals. In the beginning, I mostly used Moleskines. They were definitely good products and, above all, easily available for the young Sara who was attending the Art Academy in Milan. I mostly used the Gouaches technique, colored pencils and Fineliners, because the paper was thin, so the use of gouache, markers or watercolors was highly discouraged. As you can see, the traces of the Fineliners can be seen on the opposite side of the pages, and here and there I tried to use watercolors, but with very little water to prevent the sheets from embossing and ruining. I often made the illustration digitally and then printed and passed them on the pages. I wanted to express my creativity and, in a way, I felt limited by the paper weight. In any case, I think that Moleskines remain good products. It always depends on your needs. Remember, the best product is the one that meets your expressive needs. I had to admit that I still like some of the graphics I made. I really wanted to show them to you because at the time I still didn't have the idea of opening a YouTube channel in my head. I'd love to know which ones you like the most and or would like to see again in the future. Then, on a sale day, I came across the Notebook Therapy website and decided to try and buy a bullet journal. It was love at first sight. True, they're not exactly cheap, but they are worth every cent spent. The graphics, the packaging, the customized paper clips according to the theme, the paper, everything. I love everything about these bullet journals. One day, if I ever get the chance, I'd love to get a few more products to test out. They are all wonderful and very well done, really, but in this case, without heavy shading that would consume the paper. One day, if I ever get the chance, I'd love to get a few more products to test out. They are all wonderful and very well done, really worth it. Literally, they handle everything from gouaches to acrylics, from watercolors to markers, but in this last case, without heavy shading that would consume the paper. Highly recommended. Number 2. Gouaches and watercolors. Artisan gouaches have become, without a shadow of doubt, the tools I've used the most in these past years. They are my children and my joy. Consider that I got them around September 2022, the same month I published my first Lord of the Rings themed bullet journal video. Since I was particularly impatient, I experimented directly on the bullet journal, sensing their huge potential and fell madly in love with them. If you take a look at my channel, I think it's pretty obvious. They are something in between acrylics, which are more dense and opaque, and watercolors, which, on the other hand, are more delicate. Gouaches have brilliant, rich colors, but without being heavy or dense. In fact, depending on how much water you take with your brush, you can achieve the veiling typical of watercolors or a more opaque effect typical of acrylics. Another huge advantage is that once dry on the palette, the colors can be simply revived with water, although the yield might be different. Personally, I recommend using washes. I really enjoy them and live better my relationship with the traditional technique. These watercolors were given to me in the past few years. They're not bad. There are even some glitter colors. I used them for the epic graphics, but the end result didn't blow me away. On the other hand, I took advantage of the container to finally use the stickers that were piling up in my desk drawer. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people who never knows when and where to use stickers, especially if they are pretty, so they inevitably go unused. Unfortunately, some of them have fallen off. These are my Winsor & Newton watercolors. I use them a lot, especially during the academy. I highly recommend them. I think they are very easy to use and tend to be quite bright if you overlay several layers of colors. Number 3. The markers. They are this mom's newcomers, my babies, and they were kindly sent to me by OOO to make the graphics for the October Gilmore Girls themed bullet journal. At first, I have to say that I was very hesitant because I was worried that the markers might bleed through the page, but that didn't happen actually. As I said and showed in the October video, it's possible to make heavy shading with these markers, but in that case I recommend using a thicker watercolor paper. If, on the other hand, you are more delicate, then you can safely use them on your bullet journal. Then it always depends on the type of paper. Test them first. The colors are bright, the brush tip is a huge plus point because it is so comfortable and they're easy to use. I will probably use them again. I got this a few years ago. I was very curious to try them and the colors seemed very nice. I should try using them on the bullet journal. I still have a few copies lying around, but they are almost all empty. I remember getting them for architecture classes. They are very good. Number 4. Washi tips. Over the years, I've collected a bunch of them, also to meet the various themes that I could realize in the bullet journal. I'm generally very thrifty, so I'm very careful about the length, the texture, whether I really need it or just appreciate its aesthetic. If I'm in doubt or if I know I could recreate the kind of illustration or mood myself, I tend not to buy. It also depends on how much time you have available. If you have little, you might consider investing some researches in buying some washi tapes. All the ones I currently have been accumulated over the years. I can still remember when and where I got some of them. For example, I bought these 2 marine themed ones in Chinatown shop in Milan. I wish I could go back there, guys. They gave me the Kokomi mermaid vibes. If you play Genshin Impact, you know what I'm talking about. Or these, I got these at the comics fair in Novegro on my birthday. I bought all these on Temu. They are very beautiful and very long. I didn't expect it and I can't wait to use them. Aren't they beautiful? Look how bright they are, look at them. Ah, this one is so cute, I can't wait to use it. These I think are a must-have. You could use them for many graphics and many themes. Those of you who have been in this community for a while now know that I have a soft spot for stars. I bought some from Shein a few years ago, but despite the brightness they were short. The ones I bought from Temu are very long but a bit darker and duller than I expected. I hope it's just the overlapping of the layers that creates this effect. Number 5. Fineliners and pens. The ones I use at the moment are these and I'm very satisfied. I've used many of them for various works such as architecture, scenography, manga-style drawings, for storyboard, etc. They are very handy for making precise lines, grids or lettering. OOO's Fineliners are very good and help me to make the graphics for the September and October videos. They've become part of the set of materials I often use. These even date back to my school days. They are literally survivors. These are very pretty. Maybe the pink is a bit light and you can hardly see it. I got this blue one partly because I love the color, partly because I thought I could change from the usual black used for black titles. I found it particularly difficult to find pens or fine liners that are opaque white or stay bright without turning grey. So I tend not to buy any, I just don't trust them. Oh, I love this pen. I remember getting it from Washi in Milan during my academy years. If I could, I would buy it again. I love the super fine tip and stroke, also perfect for sketching without the stroke being coarse. Super approved. These grains were given to me as a gift, but I don't remember using them much for work, but enough for notes and drafts. Number 6. Stamps. I must say that I have a soft spot for stamps. They are so simple, elegant, and very reminiscent of printed paper and typewriters. I saw that there are so many variations with different fonts, but for now I think these are enough for me. Number 7. Colored pencils. I simply use the Carandash, Stabilo, and Prismacolor pencils. I've been carrying them since I was little. I've always been satisfied and obviously recommend them. Clippings, scratchbooking, papers, etc. This Muji eraser dates back from my trip to Finland and Norway in 2011, and I erased so much. If this is not black magic, I don't know what it is. I bought another one some months ago, but at this rate I fear it will remain unused. Best eraser ever. This brush is very useful, especially if you are traveling. In fact, I tried to use it during my trip to France and it is extremely convenient. I recommend it. This tiger cutter has turned my life around. Finally, I can cut a bit more precisely now, especially shapes that are a bit trickier and more peculiar. Look at this leaf, just look, super approved. I recommend you this type of pliers, especially if you use watercolors, gouache, or other mediums that involve water. They'll prevent, as far as possible, the pages from embossing. I see beautiful illustrated papers around quite often, but if I had the possibility of printing at home, I never buy them, although I would be curious to try them out. In fact, I tend to reuse the paper I've accumulated over the years, especially during my schooling. But the things I use more often are the cutouts of pictures that I employ to make collage. It's actually a technique that I really enjoy and allows me both to take a break from painting and save time when I'm short of it. Also, I think it helps to develop creativity in a different way and the ability to consciously manage space. In conclusion, I think the best materials are the right ones for you, for your needs and abilities. If you have little time, you can go for the collage or scratchbooking technique. If you want to experiment with painting, go for gouache or watercolors. If you want to focus on simplicity and minimalism, consider using markers and fine liners. Again, if you want to mix all techniques, feel free to do it. The bullet journal is a space where you should feel free to experiment and unleash your creativity. Then, in time, you'll develop a sense of aesthetic, understand how to better arrange elements in the space, and so on. If you want, I could make a video about it. Write down below in the comments if you are interested. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful to you. And if you have any further questions, please write them below in the comments. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell, and let me know which stationery or materials you usually use and which ones are your favorites. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. See you soon in the next video. Bye!